Hello everyone, my name is Webweaver and welcome to another episode of World of Horror. So here's the thing, this episode is definitely featuring Dog because she is on her perch there's been a story arc this year about getting Dog a perch that I haven't really talked about because I've been rearranging furniture, okay? I've been rearranging furniture. Completely same setup, just like angled differently. And I like it a lot more. It does have a downside though, which is that my dog, now that she has the perch, now that she has the high ground, she has an ego about it. And so she might just randomly bark, but the thing is, there's two kinds of barks that my dog does, right? And this is very important to be able to differentiate between the two because, and listen, Dog and I, we have been like, I don't know. I was gonna say it's weird, man. I don't like talking about animals as like pets because it's like obviously they are pets. Oh god, we're doing this thing again. Oh god. Like obviously legally pet and also like, a dog, right? But like I don't know. It just feels weird. It's like this is getting into that whole thing again about like, oh, people hate it when dogs bark, but it's like dogs bark, that's what they do. My dog specifically, she's a mix, she's a mutt, but she has alarm dog in her. Like her species, not her species, her breed of dog was literally created to bark. And so it's like, I'm not a perfect like saint human being. I'm not like a esoteric sage sitting on top of the mountain in like perfect tranquility, right? Like sometimes the barking is annoying, but it's like that's how she interacts with the world, you know what I mean? Like that's how dogs interact with the world. That's how like they've got four paws which they use to walk around and to like scratch things, and then they've got a mouth which they use to eat, vocalize, and bite and like grab. Like not even like a vicious bite. I mean like they use their mouths like we use our hands, they pick stuff up with their mouths, So it's like, this is gonna be the most insane thing I've ever said, alright? It's like playing the early version of the early game of a Metroidvania. When you are playing an endgame Metroidvania, you have all of the tools. You have literally every single piece of equipment that you could want, and you can engage with everything. Like, when you walk into a new room for the first time, you're like, okay, which of my X amount of tools can I use to get through this, to get, like, the upgrade, the MacGuffin, the power-up, or whatever, right? Or just to progress, or the secret route or whatever, right? But the dog can walk, it's a Metroidvania, it's a 2D Metroidvania, right? The dog can walk left to right, they can jump, and then they can bite, and they can bark. That's it. That's it. They've got those tools. And so it's like, you gotta be able to differentiate between your dog barking because your dog is trying to communicate with you, or your dog is just having an ego moment, which is also communication. Every bark is a communication process. Who's the last characters we played? I don't fucking know, man. I recorded those 2 episodes like a month ago. We'll do World of Love we'll do like chapter 1 of World of Love on like the next episode or so. I don't feel like a 2-hour gauntlet. I don't feel like a multi-hour gauntlet, man. We played Miku and Yumiko, and then Yashiro. Dog, are you kidding me? We played Yumiko a lot recently. What the heck? Okay, let's play like Aiko or something. I haven't played Echo the Dolphin in a while. But yeah, no, it's like, you gotta be able to understand, like, and Dog and I, we've been hanging out for, like, that's an insane way to describe it. But, like, Dog and I, we've been hanging out for, like, I want to say, like, 14, 15 years, And it's like, I'm getting, like, I know, when she's barking because she wants to, like, have a go, and she wants to, like, have a round of play fisticuffs, like a little friendly bout, little like you know, walkies, you know. I don't know why I'm being so, like, you know. But, sorry, I completely lost my train of thought. Like, the train of thought just derailed in my head, like, instantly. That's something that happens a lot when I'm writing, to an extent of, like, I'll be writing something and I'll know exactly how I want it to go, and then just suddenly the train will derail, and then I just sit there staring at it. I'm like, what was I trying to do with this scene again? And then I either just, like, put a bunch of, like, dashes and lines and, like, a bunch of, like, bold letters so that when I'm scrolling through it later, I'll notice that there's something wrong with this part, and I'll just, like, keep writing because I know what I want to do. I jump ahead and then come back to it later, or I just, like, get completely derailed, and then it derails my entire night, and then I just either delete the scene, or I, like, come back to it later, and then the scene's problematic, and I come back to it later, and then I come back to it later, and it's just, like, a vicious cycle, and then I just delete the scene, and then I write a better scene. But yeah, no, it's like, you know, like, I can tell when my dog wants something, when she's trying to communicate something that's, like, not important, but, like, I can tell the difference between, like, hey, play with me bark, and, like, hey, I need something bark. And she was barking earlier because she's really into line of sight. She's like a, you know, that one person that you play in like a tabletop war game where they have the laser pointer, and then they shine the laser pointer to see if the laser pointer can hit the model. Man, I don't even know. Like, I just Misery Worm? Bro, I don't want to do Misery Worm. I don't want to think, but I've already clicked it. Scars? Misery Worm? Ugh. Horrible. I have never seen anything quite so horrible in all my life. But, you know, it's just, she had a line of sight problem where she needs to be able to see me at all times because she has separation anxiety. So she needs to be able to see me at all times, but she also wants to do things. And so with her perch, I accidentally had, because I was, I put, like, my, what is it called? Like, it's a wash and cure station for, like, a 3D printer. I put that on my table, and that blocked her line of sight to see me, and so she was barking, like, anytime I turned around, because it's like she loses that line of sight, so she's mad. And I mean, it's like, it's so true, bestie, that, like, orange ultraviolet shield that they've got on those things, you know? It's kind of like, I mean, you can see through it, but it's also got, like, a basket in there and stuff, you know? So it's like, I can understand. She's an old dog, you know? Her eyes are getting a little cloudy. It's a normal process of aging. Dude, I don't know. I don't know. What are we even doing here? What are we even doing here? I don't know, dude. I forgot Aiko's got this drip on. Like, goddamn. Okay, okay. Mind Drain is pretty fun. Where's the Misery Worm? Oh, we have to go into the mystery first. That's right. It really is. I was just gonna say the mystery of the druids because I'm, like, so brain rotted already. It's like we're not even back to, like, regular recording, and it's already like a classic Webweaver getting distracted in the first 10 minutes. It's gonna be like 15 minutes before Mystery 1. You know it. This is the way. I forgot the money. I forgot the funds? I forgot the funds. We'll just leave the default outfit on. We'll just leave the default drip on. Drip on, drip off, drip on, for sure. Recluse, Abnormal Arms, Fear Festival, Mermaids, Wordless Ward. We can do a little Morbid Mermaids. We were having a little bit of a, plus 1% doom for each active curse. Alright. So right off the bat, how do we want to do this? I think this one's kind of funny, but let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. Let's actually give it a go. And what we can do is we can go to the shop here, and this is a 3 fund item. We're doing a steak knife run. What is this, like 2021? Bruh. A steak knife dexterity Ico run is crazy. So here's the thing, the mic might sound a little bit weird because it's, like, still technically in, like, the same position on the desk, but it's, like, in a different position on the room, you know, so. -2 perception, and we still got that shit on lock. You already know it. Now, I am aware that we did effectively take 8% Doom to avoid 4% Doom. But we're engaging with it as we come. Coughing blood, huh? That is definitely worth getting taken care of. This is not a combat encounter, so we can just go in here and feel pretty good about that. I almost went to the pharmacy. What is wrong with me? What the heck is wrong with me? What the heck is wrong with me? Hello? I'll tell you what's not wrong with me. I ain't coughing blood anymore. I got this discharge summary. But, -2 luck, by the way, so we're just walking. I am concerned about the microphone a little bit, but, like, the microphone has been fine on Discord, and I was able to turn the, whatever Discord's, like, audio suppression thing is for background noise. I was able to turn that off, and it still sounds good. So I'm hoping that it'll be good here. I'm hoping that my giant foam case around the microphone is doing its job. But I don't know, it's just a little bit worried about. I'm always worried about it, like, recording with a new setup, and then it's, like, completely fine, or I don't notice and nobody else notices, and it's just completely fine. Because it's like my voice is so quiet anyways. If there's some, like, background fuzz, you're not gonna hear it over the World of Horror, but there are some times when World of Horror goes completely quiet, and that was a thing in previous videos that really, really pissed me off. Not in all of them, just in some of the various setups we've had over the years. I mean, you can't go into debt in Shiikawa, which is how you know that this is a fictional game. You can't go into debt in this game. That's W fiction right there. Okay, so what are we doing here today? I don't really know. I was thinking about, and we're gonna have to get we actually do need a fund. We actually do need a fund to cure burned, because it's, like, kind of annoying to, like, be burned. We also didn't get into a fight, except for the janitor. Right? Yeah. The janitor was our first enemy, if you can believe that. It's kind of nuts. I don't really like any of these as an immediate follow-up. I also didn't check to see if the forest or the village was doomed or whatever. If it's the village doomed, it doesn't matter. But there's, like, no way we can get... We have Aiko's plush toy, actually. It cancels out. +2 for each spell learned? Alright, we're casting Mind Drain at our first combat, and then we're getting rid of it, probably. I mean, it's really strong. It's worth having. It's just that it also kind of doesn't really work very well with old scars. So... 2 funds, that gets us there, so that's pretty good. Hopefully we don't have to buy a Rubik's Cube for anybody. I ain't hanging out with Masafumi, I'm sorry. I ain't... -3 stamina for Masafumi, I'm sorry. Some of you ain't worth the -3 stamina. Don't be a Masafumi, folks. In the fictional sense. Oh, this is already a disaster. This is already so horrible. But, what was I gonna say? I don't remember. I'm not in the full... Hermit would have been really cool, but I can't no, -5, and we're, like, taking our max down again and again and again. It's not something that I could realistically entertain. Whoops. Well, it's not like we were gonna do that anyways. It's cool. It's cool. Fujiko is interesting. Fujiko is actually really interesting. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. I think Fujiko is a valid choice, just because it would give us, like, it would give us unaffected accuracy, so it's, like, a nice to have, but we don't really need it. The steak knife is still wild into me. Like, we haven't really had a combat encounter yet for me to go, like, oh yeah, the steak knife sucks, or oh yeah, the steak knife's good. Like, you can use the steak knife, obviously, like, it's a fine weapon. It's a good broken bottle. It's just that, like, I don't know, dog. I mean, I guess we'll just, like, get rid of Mind Drain here. Because even if we get into the fight, it's not like it will do anything. I would love to get the good C slot item. I'd take it over Aiko's plush toy a million times a million, but it does kind of help us out with, Okay, so 9 damage. We're killing in 3 turns, but can we block? This is important. So unfortunately, this is pretty bad. Because we can get 2 turns for the price of 1, but we're doing 3 less damage. And so it's just, like, not really good. Can we, like, greed something with dodge, like, unbelievably so? No, not even. If we could do 2 attacks with dodge, I might even consider it. But, like, we have to take 8 Doom in a Misery Parasite run in order to get one of the best items in the game. 8 Doom? Dude, that's kinda... And we lose Aiko's plush toy if we do that? No, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Run from the beast like a horrible coward? You gotta be a horrible coward sometimes. You gotta be a loathsome, horrible piece of shit coward. Because, like, here's the thing. Would you rather have 5% Doom, or would you rather have 8% Doom, get the best item in the game, but lose, like, a really strong C-slot item? Like, the thing about World of Horror that's very important to understand is that you have... I think we're gonna go hot bath. As much as I loathe it, we're gonna go hot bath, and we're gonna go strength. I want fast swimmer, it's really important, but I'm not rerolling. But the thing you gotta understand, you know, because I've been dropping the ball on carrying the World of Horror forward, you know. When I look up World of Horror on YouTube anymore, none of my videos come up. That's the true, like, ego death. Which is another reason why I say that, like, nothing that I've ever, like, no video I've ever made on this game, like, matters for the perspective of, like, the game itself. You know what I mean? Like, one VTuber plays this for Halloween, that sells more copies than, like, 1,000+ World of Horror episodes. And that doesn't make me upset at all. That doesn't, like, you know, if you were the developer of World of Horror, if you were Panstash, and you were like, I want to do, like a reference to a YouTuber who played this game, you would pick, like, I get them confused. Is it like Vine Sauce? Is Vine Sauce and Joel a separate person? I've watched... If they are separate people, I've watched both of them. But, like, is it Vine Sauce? Hold up, we can look, we can just very easily look this up, right? But, like, you know, if you were gonna make a reference to a YouTuber who's played World of Horror, you would make a reference to, like, I think it's Vine Sauce World of Horror. Yeah, Vinny, okay, yeah, Vinny and, okay. If you were gonna make, like, a reference to a YouTuber, you would do, like, Vinny, or you would do... I mean, I'm just gonna type World of Horror, and we're gonna see, like, there's a, you know... Oh, Picaspre Blue played World of Horror, that's crazy. I need to watch that, actually. But, you know, you would do, like, Vinny Vine Sauce, you do, like, Manly Badass Hero, you'd do basically just anyone, you'd do any VTuber who's played this, you'd do... Yeah, you'd basically just pick anyone. Because there's so many people who are, like, really, like, much bigger content creators who have played this game for, like, a fraction of the time than I have. And they've had, like, an infinitely more, like, an infinitely larger impact than what I've done, you know? I searched up World of Horror, and I scroll down, and I see playing World of Horror was a mistake by the J-Man, but then immediately below that, and I'm not fucking joking with you, it is an Auspex Tactics video about the new Dread Mob Gretchen objective secured plus detachment points confirmed orcs. Dog, what? Like, at least the Quiet Apocalypse, or this horrifying game that doesn't exist, is, like, you know, I could imagine getting that from, like, World of Horror. But then you look at, like, fucking... Ay. Oh yeah, Jesse Cox, that's another one. I completely forgot that Jesse played this game. But, yeah, no, it's just, like, you would, like... Because I get comments from time to time of people saying, like, you've done so much for this game, you've done so much for this game, and the reality of the situation is I haven't. Like, I've sold probably, like, that I know of, I've sold, like, 10 copies of this game, and any, like, big streamer... Like, honestly, it's probably wouldn't be a surprise if, like, I kept the Land Drifters arc going and going and going and going and going and going and going, and I just kept doing the bit of, like, buy Land Drifters lol. I could probably sell more copies of Land Drifters than this entire series has sold of World of Horror. Like, just fully, completely. And, you know, I'm not saying this as, like, a complaint, or, like, I feel like I'm entitled to anything. It's like, I'm not. I'm just playing it for fun, you know? And I get comments. And, like, here's the thing. I don't dislike those comments, and I'm not, like, trying to argue with you either. It's just that, like, whenever I read a comment like that, it's like, I appreciate the sentiment, but, like, in reality, like, in the real material world of, like, what I've done for World of Horror, I said in reality in such a mean way. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. But, like, in the material reality of, like, World of Horror as a game and as its, like, trajectory, I've basically had, like, you know, maybe the equivalent of buying Panstash a coffee. And it's like, that's fine. That's totally fine. Like, I've had a couple people say that, like, you know, I'm influential for World of Horror, and it's like, if I was, then the game wouldn't have, like, I don't know, if I go to Steam charts, right? My favorite thing to do while playing World of Horror is go to Steam charts and check World of Horror on Steam charts. Which, by the way, I don't even think, like, this is, like, a good measure of a game. Excuse me, I open my emails by accident? Every day I get emails, and every day I don't want to. That's why my dog is morally superior to me, because she doesn't know what an email is. Like, if I had any impact on World of Horror, the concurrent players would not be 28. Like, they would... Like, that's what I mean, right? Like, it's, like, I'm not keeping the game alive. I'm not keeping the game from dying. It's like I'm keeping a small community of people aware of what World of Horror is and not letting it fall off their radar. But, like, that's it, dog. I don't really know. I'm just stalling because I don't want to do any of these mysteries. Like, we can do Abnormal Arms, but I want to save that for later. But what if it's the boss? But I don't like that. But what if it's the... Ah! Is this minus knowledge? It's minus 2 perception. Okay, our knowledge just sucks. We do Wordless Ward so we can get the, Oh, brother. Plus Doom for every 10 EXP. Thank you, thank you! Waiter, more misery, please! Oh, this is gonna be hell. The hospital is doomed! Dude. It's over, actually. Unironically, it's over. Well, good thing the video is going on long enough, right? Oh, dude, we're gonna have to rest. We're gonna have to rest. We're gonna have to rest. So we're gonna be at, like, 60 or 80 Doom when we're done with this mystery, bro. Oh, fuck! I hate how Panstash fixes bugs. I forgore. God damn it. Years of cheesing this mystery. Oh, fucking hell. Years of cheesing this mystery. No real world case found. Oh, where's Sever? There it is. God, I'm LARPing in World of Horror. How far we've fallen. What the fuck is going on? -1. -1 to all? Dude, we're doing 3 damage? God, I hate... God, I have no knowledge. I have no knowledge. Ty Lopez, save me. Ty Lopez, save me, please. Get me out of here, get me out of here. Thank God for hot bath. Thank God for hot bath. That shit was horrible. We don't have to accept a risky, miraculous medical procedure to get rid of our bloody nose, by the way. Thank God for that. Anyways, what the hell we were talking about? World of Horror? I don't know. I don't know, dude. I'm not used to doing the commentary thing. I've been out of the game for too long. 1 stamina? Dog, we're gonna kill you. We're gonna beat you to death with hammers. It's kind of weird, but I'm looking at this and I'm like, yeah, Ico is like... The steak knife is good. Holy crap, that was lucky. The steak knife is good if you have Ico's plush toy. Is that cope? Probably. What if we just did a little 80-80? Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with a little 80-80. Oh, Jesus. Dude, this shit sucks. I don't even remember our second enemy, by the way. That feels like that was our first enemy. Oh, it was... Our second enemy was the Faceless Horror. Can you believe that? First enemy Janitor, second enemy Faceless Horror? That's not real, right? Surely that's not real. Oh, fucking hell. You've also got a steak knife, but yours is shittier. Fuck. That's only because I have the plush toy. You actually just have a steak knife. I mean... Listen, I know what I said. We're gonna have to rest again, dude? Oh, Jesus Christ. You know, the more I play this game, the more I think, like, the hospital might be, like, the sleeper Satan location. I think the hospital might be evil, dude. We cannot get to 8. We cannot... Oh, dude. Oh, no. How the hell are we gonna do this? I mean, we have 8 sanity, and it's not Mystery 5 yet, so... You're not gonna get the full health bonus. Oh, dude. Oh, my God. There's no way to spend... There's only a way to spend money. There's no way to spend EXP, right? I thought there was a way you could spend EXP. Oh, it's the fucking police station in Genji Ito. Mother flipper. God damn it. But, I don't know. I've been a little bit indecisive today. I have, like, 3 things that are kind of pulling me in to do different stuff this evening, and it's like I'm just gonna procrastinate until raid, and it's like relatively frustrating. That's like borderline game winning, but it's like just 5, dude. It's just 5. Prepare for the bet. Excuse me? Why did that happen? I'm gonna cry, man. I'm gonna cry. The apartments aren't doomed. Oh, fuck. It's a mansion investigation. So the mansion could be doomed. So we get -1. But why would we not get +1/+1? Because that's like a +2/+2. I don't understand why we wouldn't get any change in our health. Oh, no, man. We should have done... When we had Mind Drain, we should have done Recluse first. Holy... This is an injury, so that is, unfortunately, a pain in the ass. We're not gonna level up before this. Oh my god, we're not leveling up before this. Dude, please, please, no! Dude, I'm gonna cry. I'm actually gonna cry. Look at this. Look at this is it's over. It's over. Dude, how do you win this? I mean, we go to the... Did I even get the thing from the seaside? Bro, did I even get the thing from the seaside? Did I even get the monument? I put the monument up, right? Surely I put the monument up, right? So I can do 6 damage, or I can do 5 damage and dodge. Oh, I can brace for 1? I mean... We do 10 damage, we take 2? I'm okay with that. We can actually do more than that as well. But yeah, you know, my evening, pretty clear tonight. We took 2 damage. Did we just take 2 damage? Were we at 8? Or were we at 7? I think we were at 7. I'm... What the heck? I mean, we're just gonna do this until, you know... Oh, we have a curse, don't we? That's like... No, we don't. I thought we had, like, a curse or something. When the hell did we get Fujiko as an ally? I remember explicitly, like, not taking her. Did I click the wrong button? Have I been clicking the wrong button this whole run and we're still gonna win? Bro. That's awesome. What is happening? This is dodge. This is brace. This is what I've been trying to do. You burn the money, -1 funds. You know what's so sad is that this is not gonna count. What? Please. 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 Misery Parasite. Have mercy. Oh, thank God. Fuck. That would have actually been instant, like, Can you imagine the 15% Doom bang, or like the 15% Doom kill shot? Jesus Christ. I've been so out of this game that it's like I literally don't even like... I'm not even comprehending what I've got going on right now. That's crazy. Best way to spend money, in my opinion, is lowering the doom of the world. So the question is, are we going to level up before the end of the mystery? This is a short mystery, so unfortunately, I think the answer is no, but we're gonna do this anyways. Just because I think it's a little safer, but like, oh my god. We have a dexterity. We have dexterity. I mean, we could fuck it up, you know? You could always just fuck it up. I've been playing, my friend invited me to play Baldur's Gate 3, and we just got to Act 2, like a week ago, and I turned off karmic dice because I don't like, the idea that the game is like, you've had too many bad rolls. Let's give you a good roll. It's like, no, no, no. I want the dice to be as random as, like, a computer can do. Oh, Jesus, man. We succeed that one. Okay. But, you know, I just, like... I really do love rolling a dice in Baldur's Gate 3 and then just getting, like, the bad result, and then something funny happens, or you still have a way to progress even after you do the bad result. Or you just have your character absolutely fucks it up, and then another character can try again and they succeed it. There was a really funny moment when we were doing the mountain pass. There's a strength check, and I'm playing a giant barbarian, which is very fun. I don't think it's good. I think it's bad. I think it's terrible. But, you know, I've got, like, 93 HP. I can, like, kick people really far. I have multiple attacks. It feels good. There was one time we were fighting some fucking scary lava monster. It wasn't a lava monster. It was like a metal golem that was near a lava monster. But it was like this big metal golem guy. And my friend, she was hyping it up as like, this is going to be like one of the hardest bosses that we fight. And I just put that thing in a fucking corner and beat it to death with my hammer. It felt so good. And she was like, I guess we're not doing the cheese. And I'm like, the giant hammer in the room? The giant hammer in the room. I didn't need it. I have a hammer in my hands. But there was a strength check in the mountain pass where it's like you have to, like, bring an elevator up with your own brute strength, right? And it's like, I'm a strength character. I got 20 strength. Surely I can lift the elevator. I failed it. And then my friend, who is a dexterity character, succeeded the strength check, and I thought that was really funny. Dice rolls are funny like that, and I think that, I think dice rolls are a very interesting way to add, like, this is gonna do 6? Dude, you're cooked. You're cooked? Let's just not talk about that. The one time we miss. This is not the end of the mystery, right? I wanna go gambling some more. Okay, this is the end of the mystery. Let's go gambling some more. Press this button to die instantly. Is it time for our... Because I'm all over the place. I'm not even gonna try to make this, like, video coherent in any sense of the word. Ah, crap. Dude, oh, crap. The Misery Parasite kill shot? Yikes. This looks terrible, but this is unironically the only way that we could... I don't think we can win it. Not now, Steak Knife. Bad base chance to hit. Do we just go, like, gambling? Do we love gambling? I think we love gambling. Because if we can, like, guarantee 12 damage, right? But what if we got 18 damage? That would be pretty sick as hell. That would be sick as hell if we got 18 damage. But what if we got 6 damage, then we lose, right? I don't think we can win from 24 health. I don't know if we can win from 18 health. I'm gonna be honest with you. We can fucking try, though. But yeah, I'm not even gonna try to make this video coherent anymore. Okay, I don't have to do another anecdote. But you know what? We're gonna do one anyways. Because this video is a mess. This video is a mess. I haven't done commentary in a while, so this is the recalibrating the commentary track. And I guess when you do spend the whole video pressing the wrong button, and taking the wrong options, thinking you're doing the opposite, then, you know, you should probably pay more attention to the game on your screen and less attention to, you know, watching the microphone green bar go up and down on OBS as you speak, and then getting a little upset when it peaks into the yellow. Didn't peak into the red, though. So, you know, we're balling. But, you know, a little book update. It's been a month. Book update. YouTuber who's writing a book. Hey guys, I'm writing a book. I had a busy IRL month. I had a lot of stuff going on, which is not an excuse to why there haven't been videos. I had time to do videos. I just decided to play Baldur's Gate 3 with my friend instead. But, and Big Walk. Game of the year, by the way. Big Walk is game of the year. Friend Gem. Very important game for, I guess, you know, in like 15 years when you can't go outside anymore. So it's going to be a very good game for the future generations to be like, oh, so this is what nature was like. Cool. Why don't we have nature? You know, we wanted to make like 12 guys really, really wealthy. Oh, that's pretty cool. Do they have nature? No. But you know, I had a very busy month, so I didn't really do much, unfortunately. You know, it's kind of crazy. I would just kind of open up the text files and I just kind of look at it and I'd be like, oh crap. You know, I'd just look at like 200 plus K words and I'd just be like, oh crap, I have to edit this. And so, like, I've gone through it, I've reread some of it, rewrote a little bit of it, just to kind of make it a little bit more consistent from the perspective of, like, I always knew what I wanted the characters to be and act like, it's just that it took me about, probably until, like, chapter 8 or 9, for the character, for me to figure out how to write that, if that makes sense. And the characters are probably, like, really obnoxious and really annoying, and that's actually one of the things Baldur's Gate has made me a little insecure about Baldur's Gate 3, because, like, one of the things that I'm doing with, you know, the book is that, like, there's the main character, right? Like, the main character, she's obviously the main character, right? Like, she's obviously the main character, but the thing is, it kind of, and again, this is a horrible idea to have, is like, oh, this is going to be the first book that I write. But the thing is, I have to write what I'm interested in doing, and then I just have to keep improving it and tweaking it to make it, like, good, you know? So it's obviously going to be terrible. But, like, it plays around with the idea of, like, she's the main character, but just because she's the main character doesn't mean she has, like, the most agency in every scene. You know, there are people in the narrative who are more important than her, or have, like, more reason to be doing something. It's kind of like the not really the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure philosophy, but there's a lot of times in JoJo's where people are like, why didn't X character get to beat down this villain? And why did this other character get to beat down this villain instead? I think that happened in Part 5 a couple of times. I remember there being discourse about that, but I need to rewatch Part 5 to, like, actually weigh in on it properly. But, like, something that happens is that you're going to be a little bit confused on, like, why does this character get the showdown against this character, and why is that like that? And it's because, and instead of, like, the main JoJo having that fight. And it's because it's sort of like, that character is the one in the narrative who, like, deserves to have that fight. And that's sort of, like, you know, something that I've been trying to do as well, is, like, does it make sense for, or, like, and, you know, I would never compare myself to the GOAT. I would never compare myself to, like, the best fucking arc of all time. But, like, the Chimera Ant arc in Hunter x Hunter, right? The main characters, Gon and Killua, do not ever talk to, fight, interact with, or even, I don't even think Killua ever sees him. Gon does for, like, 30 seconds. But, like, the main characters of, you know, Hunter x Hunter, in the Chimera Ant arc, never interact with the main villain at all. And that works so fucking well, and it's one of the reasons why it's so brilliant. So it's like, those are the things that I'm thinking about, like, does this character, because of course another reason of like, this is a horrible thing to make the first book that you've written, is that it's a very big world and it's got a lot of stuff going on, which is why I had to make a fucking private wiki for myself to keep it all coherent and make sense, which is probably going to make it be very bad. But, you know, it's like, there's a lot of stuff going on, and so it's like, does this character have like a reason to do this thing or fight this person, or is it just because they're a main character, you know? And so that's something that I've been trying to avoid a lot, is like just having the main characters fight like for like no reason. You know what I mean? Because it's like, you know, you gotta let the characters have their moments. But the reason why Baldur's Gate 3 is making me a little insecure about my writing is that, and I'm playing it for the first time, by the way. I've never played Baldur's Gate 3 before. And so I'm playing it blind for the first time. And the thing about it is that the 4 main party members in part 1 of my book all have a lot going on, and it does interfere with or interrupt the narrative. But then I'm playing Baldur's Gate 3 after I've written the book, and it's like, you know, the party wizard is like, oh, I need to eat all of your rare magic items. I know you only have like 3 of them right now, but I have a magical condition. I need to eat your magic items. Give me your magic items. And I'm like, oh, motherfucker. And then like another character is like, I've got this like burning heart that's gonna light me on fire and I'm gonna explode. And it's like, oh, fuck. And then, you know, you have another character who's like, I am a vampire and I need your blood. And it's like, oh, fuck, -1 to all my hit rolls. I don't even have you in the party, jackass. Why? I'm never gonna feed you again, motherfucker. And then you have another party member who's like, you know, I mean, Will's cool. I don't have any complaints about Will. I like Will and I like Lae'zel. I think those are my 2 favorite characters. I don't know anything about Shadowheart because my friend has Shadowheart as a companion, and she's romancing Shadowheart. So I don't know anything about. I don't know anything about her. I don't know anything about her. But my friend let me have every other character as a companion, and I've been like learning their stories, and I've been going through their quest lines and making sure that I'm doing their quest lines, and they're all like, you know, special OC characters who have like a lot going on, and it interrupts the narrative. And it's like, me, simple barbarian, like min-int barbarian lady who has 20 strength and is trying to get as high, like, highest strength and constitution as possible, right? Those are the only 2 stats that I care about. And it's like, I'm just being interrupted by these dickheads. And I'm like, oh god, I really hope I didn't write anything like this. Which, you know, I feel like I'm, like, I'm picking a fight. Because I heard that Baldur's Gate 3 was, like, one of the most, like, brilliantly written games of all time. And really, I just see that brilliant writing in, like, Lae'zel and, like, Will. I get, like, Asterion is probably pretty cool. Like, I don't really, like, I don't dislike... And now, here's the thing. I say that the characters are annoying, and they interrupt the narrative, even though, like, their, you know, magical conditions, their magical disabilities are built into the story and do have plot relevance, except Asterion, like, he's just kind of there. Like, I don't think Asterion has any connection to the plot yet. Maybe in Act 3, but, like, he's literally, like, there's never been anything that's happened besides, like, some monster hunters who try to kill him. And it's like, you know, it's also very weird how Baldur's Gate 3 assumes that you, the, like, player character, not, like, you, the player, but, the character is interested in, like, all of the things going on. Because, like, there's, like, you meet, like, the devil from the Bible at one point, and my character was the one who got, like, spirited away into, like, the banquet hall, right? And the thing is, the character that I'm, like, role-playing as, the character that I'm trying to, like, represent, because I'm not just doing, like, a self-insert, even though I did, like, name her the standard name that I give all of my characters. I'm not trying to do, like, a self-insert thing, where I'm, like, making the decisions that I would make. I'm trying to make decisions that the character would make. And that usually leads to a lot of very funny things because my character makes very bad decisions that usually involve us having to, like, go through some trials and or tribulations to get through somewhere, or it, like, makes it much harder. But, you know, my character, she's not interested in... First of all, she probably doesn't even know that that's the devil from the Bible. And the idea of suddenly being spirited away into a banquet hall, she's just gonna be annoyed. She's just gonna want to go home. She's just gonna want to go back to bed. And so, you know, I was using the most hostile, angry, dismissive dialogue options on the devil from the Bible. And I don't, like, the game gives you that option to be, like, dismissive and rude. And then there's, like, dialogue later with your companions who are all like, yeah, so what did you think about the devil's offer? What did you think about, what did you think about the devil wanting us to do this thing? What did you think about? And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I have no fucking clue. The devil spirited me away to the banquet, and I told him to fuck off. Like, I just told him to get lost. It's true. I just told him to fuck off. And I literally just, like, I would not stop being dismissive until he let me leave. And I didn't hear anything about it. But now, like, I have characters who are trying to talk to me, and they're like, what do you think of the devil's offer? And it's like, I don't know what the devil's offer is because I told him to get lost. And so it's like, Baldur's Gate 3 is a really interesting game. And it has a lot of very fun, like, things that you can do mechanically. And it does give you a lot of narrative freedom as well. It's just that I feel like a lot of it, they don't expect you to be, like... Basically how I feel like it is during inconsequential dialogue, they give you so many options of, like, racial dialogue, class dialogue, and they give you so many options to express yourself and how your character is during these, like, inconsequential dialogue with, like, NPCs that don't matter. But then when you meet one of, like, the big, really strong, powerful characters, they still give you those options, but if you pick them, the game doesn't really expect you to do that or have any, like, thing planned for you doing that, and then you'll just kind of get, like, shoehorned into it later when, you know, Asterion or, like, will nudge you in the shoulders and say, like, do you think we should take the devil's offer so that we can get the tadpoles out of our brain? And it's like, what does the devil want us to do? And then my only dialogue options are, we shouldn't trust devils, or, yeah, we should trust devils. And so it feels like probably one of the best dialogue choices in the game is when you're talking to a queen lady who's evil, who's obviously evil. I thought she was a demon, but apparently she's a lich. I thought she was a demon, though, because she's, like, fucking on fire. But, you know, maybe that's, you know, maybe I'm problematic. I see a giant flaming lady and I think demon, but my mistake. A lot of the undead have been resistant to fire in this game, so shows how narrow-minded I am, right? Also shows that I've, like, never played D&D before, but, you know, I see a giant flaming lady, and she's, like, demanding us to bow down and stuff, and I don't, and I'm mean to her, and then she just, like, tactically nukes me off the face of the earth, and we die, and we have to reload the save, and my friend gets really mad at me, because she's like, why the fuck did you do that? I had no idea that would happen. What is wrong with you? Why would you pick that dialogue option? But I think that's the coolest fucking dialogue option in the game. Like, you can get fucking team wiped. You can get total party killed because you make fun of an NPC. But, yeah, I just think it's weird, right? I just think it's kind of weird how, like, they want you to be able to do these things, and they give you the option, but 90% of the time, they're just sort of expecting you to, when the big important NPC shows up, you stop role-playing and you pick, like, what the player wants. Does that make sense? Like, you can role-play when it is for flavor and, like, minor encounters, and then when it's for, like, the main story, you kind of have to lock the fuck in and pick the option that, like, the player want. And also, you know, I'm always surprised at games like this where you have some sort of, like, mystical benefactor who you're just supposed to implicitly trust. And, like, the Dream Visitor, I'm talking about the Dream Visitor. But also, you know, I guess you could say, like, it's the Dream Visitor, right? Like, I don't like the Dream Visitor as the player, and then also the character that I'm role-playing also does not like the Dream Visitor. And the game doesn't really have anything planned for that, which I know sounds weird, because if you know, you know. Which is that you can, like, you know, stab the Dream Visitor, and then also, after that point, the Dream Visitor constantly gives you shit. But, like, most of the generic Dream Visitor dialogue is, like, them in your good graces, or, like, liking you. So it's, like, 90% of the time when I talk to the Dream Visitor, it's, like, she's talking to me like we're besties, like we're working together, and then only certain dialogue, she's like, listen, I know you don't like me, but you have no choice, so whatever. And I don't know, like, I wish that such a big, important aspect of the game, you were allowed to roleplay just a little bit more, and it, like, you know, I wish the Dream Visitor was a little bit more, like, ambivalent's probably the wrong word, but a little bit more, like, callous, or, like, doesn't care as much after you sort of, like... Because here's the thing, my Dream Visitor was like, I can't believe you betrayed me, and it's like, no, I have... Literally, since the first second I've seen you, I have hated your ass. I have hated your ass. Listen, I played Blue Dragon. I will never trust the angelic celestial voice in my head telling me that I have to do something, okay? I will never, instinctively, intrinsically, I will never do that as a player, and I'm never gonna do my first playthrough of a character who's like, ah, yes, I trust scary celestial authorities that popped up in my brain after a Mind Flayer parasite was planted in my brain, you know? And then, you know, the voice is like, use your magical illithid Mind Flayer power. No, I haven't used a single one. The moment I found out that the willpower checks were all just, like, reading people's minds, I never picked another willpower check in the game. Absolutely hate that shit. Whenever somebody gets into my mind, I immediately press the dialogue option that kicks them out of my mind. Sever the connection, kick them out of my mind. I have never asked any of the companions to use the illithid powers, not freaking once, brother. But, like, I don't know, it just, like, it just feels like the game has those options in them, but the developers don't actually expect you to pick them. It feels like a... How do I put it? Like a... It feels like it was the developers who did the Renegade path in Mass Effect made this, but then they're, like, jaded, and they're like, 96% of people, 95% of people are just gonna pick this route, so, you know, we don't have to go all out with like we did with Renegade. Like, that's a very mean way to put it, but that's how it feels. That's how it feels, is like, they give you the option, but you're not actually supposed to pick that option, because it just doesn't really mesh with the linear story of the game. It's a good game, though. It's a really good game, though. It's really fun. It gives you a lot of player freedom in combat, and, you know, how you interact with the game world is so mechanically interesting. It's kind of like, it's not, I wouldn't say it's an immersive sim, because it's not, but you can do some immersive sim-esque things, and how your character and you, the player, interact with the game world is sort of based on, like, your class and how your character would act. So it's like, I'm playing a min-intelligence barbarian lady, and so when I come across a locked door, I just break the door down. Or when I come across a locked chest that's on a cliff that my friend couldn't reach without a teleportation or a flying spell, I just add the chest to my inventory and carry it down the mountain. You know, that shit's fucking awesome. And I wish more video games could do that. Like, Larian's the GOAT with that stuff. Like, that shit's really cool. But anyways, thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Have a good one. I know I said I didn't want any, like, multi-hour bangers, and this one's going on for an hour, so it's like, stay safe out there. Have a good one. Bye.